Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to Xonotic. We have the XDF monthly records for February 2026. It is the very tail end of March, but we've just had a fantastic Xonotic Strafe competition, which I hope you all enjoyed. And we're back with the regular season of records. It's technically not late, as long as I get it done today. Goblin, of course, practicing for XSC, took the lead. 33 records overall, Riffo in second with 14, Shinx with 14, then Amnesia Floopy straight to Amino, Plaza, Shiro, Christy, Sars, Kyle, Woe, Zilligan, Mirio, Kota, Kante and Kabla for a total of 125 records. Might as well pop stats on: 125 records, 116 videos, 78 unique maps and 19 unique players. Very nicely done. Over on the relaxed running stuff, we have no change particularly, except that Vert and Shinx have swapped around in the top 5. Cool has overtaken Mui, which is quite impressive because Cool still plays with stats off, I'm pretty sure, but Mui hasn't been playing for a while, so that will just be from other players coming in and going. Everything else stays the same, but Uchi manages to pull it back up into the top 20 after dropping out the month before. So very well done to Uchi. Can't remember who he bopped. On the HP side of things, no movement at the top as usual. Dizzy overtakes Shirosaki, which probably means that Riffo took a record off of Shiro. Further down, Plaza makes the entry into the top 20. I believe knocking Banano out of the top 20 on this one. So, very well done to Plaza. Hopefully Plaza can keep moving, Banano can come back in, but we'll see. Ferius might be difficult to take out, has some good runs on HP. So yeah, that is everything that's happened. Check out the XDF, the XSC records and everything on the channel, and we will get into the runs, where we have Swoop and Swoop, and hopefully this works. And then I have forgotten to add something. There we go, look at that. You've got a me in the corner now. I'll just float around the corner for a bit. There we go. Let's go. DM23. It's a good run from Shiro. Bit of a strange month this month because XSC was happening, so there was a lot of records, but then a lot of things that I didn't know what was going on particularly. Oh, I need to change the settings again. I've just completely reinstalled my computer. Oh no, MPV isn't doing the thing. That's good. It is just quiet. Let's overboost it. Record here from one of the, well, not set during one of the Crab Cups, but on Cool Quickgrass 9. We played this in a Crab Cup. Crab Cups have been going every 2 weeks. Check out the forum post on the Xonotic forums. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah, brand new map. Goblin absolutely demolished this map. This map was brand new for the Cool Cup, for the Crab Cup, sorry, before the Cool Cup. We have 3 brand new maps coming up soon for a Crab Cup. One by me, one by Kota, one by Cool for Crab Map 02. It's going to be really good. It's going to be really, really good. This one, another one taken by Goblin. There was some at the end of last month that were Goblin managed to smash up as well. And here we got a new map. Demug 100 Slick got added to the servers. We weren't sure if it would be very slick buggy, but it seems to be alright. And of course we have the patch coming soon-ish. Soon TM, as always. But really nice. I did see a bit of this run. Pretty much just up to here from Plaza because I wanted to see how ballsy he was going down that ramp. But yeah, It's a good run. There should be some new tactics coming through with this map though, I should think. Plaza's slick ability is really, really good. These sort of longer maps that a lot of people have been playing because they're cool and, you know, people just put in times. These are the ones that are getting the points for Plaza. He's really good at these maps and stepped up massively. You can see it from last year's XDWC where he was stepping up into the top 20, and now in the XSC he's been very much a name every single week, I'm pretty sure, in the top 20 and high up in the top 20 as well, not just getting in barely. But yeah, really, really good step up from Plaza from over the last year, just been absolutely howling at it. VP 100. That was what did it. That was what started the fight. Plaza versus 2 and a couple other people getting in there as well. And it's just created an absolute monster. Big grinder. Super smooth through here. This is a map I don't think I'd even be able to finish. Like, in terms of skill, sure, but just slicking for this long. And a lot of this is knowing when to slick for speed and when to just go, whatever. There's a tight, you know, there's a tight corner coming up and I won't make it if I gain as much speed as possible. So you're kind of, I don't know, you're less punished for mistakes because you can get back up to speed very quickly than you are in the strafe version, but at the same time the mistakes that you make can be way more costly. But the high speeds really do make it a different run. You can see Plaza trying to avoid some ramp bugs by bouncing, but it also means that you just maintain speed. But for a lot of people, somewhat more control. We're used to air gravity and air friction and sort of how hard you can turn in the air. We're not used to how hard you can turn on slick. Especially bumpy slick. You'd rather be consistently in the air and turn slower than unable to know whether you're able to turn or not, because you might get just popped just that little bit in the air in a bumpy bit of ground. Which is quite a lot of on this map. Grip. True. Big grip. I don't even know if that bit, like that bit that we've just gone up, the V-shaped grabber, that's killed runs on this sort of map. The way it's slick and it grips, I should call her. Incredible. Poetic words there. The way it's slick and it has holes in it. 2007 to 2010 F1 tyre rigs, I think. Massive. I did like how those tyres looked. I've got to say, they look good. the grooved tyres. What on earth is this? This is a new map. Did I not save the... Oh no, I did. Yeah. This is crazy. I didn't even put this properly at the start of the list. This is just the map. There are no brand new maps this month. Yeah, there were just none in February. No one added any. Bunch of new ones come for March though. Wow. Yeah, that's a really cool map. Super difficult map. I don't even know if this is failable, honestly, because a lot of these sort of maps in DeFrag will just kill you if you fall in the lava. They're not even like, yeah. Because that's one of the big differences, like Momentum Mod, bringing all the things together. This run's really nice. You go super tight here, flick it up round the corner, barely seems like you make it, then you have to get just enough round here. Beautiful spacing up into the finish. Ah, it's not a kill part. Okay. Yeah, because that's always been my thing since I found Surf, was it kills you if you fall in. It's like, fucking hell. Yeah, probably not a map. Probably not a map I could do. Or it'd take me a while to, like, learn it, for sure. You like the maps with chicken routes? True. I mean, there's a lot of maps. So this map, for example, you could walk it. You don't have to, I don't believe you have to jump anywhere on this map. But you watch the corner cuts that are about to happen towards the end of this map, and you see like how close Goblin gets to the edges of everything, and then cuts the corner there. You could just walk around the outside. You could cut less of the corner if you're going at a certain speed. And then just there, just committing to going diagonally across there, knowing you'll land on the other side. All these maps, it's a thing. A tier 1 map in DeFrag, as done in Momentum Mod, is super easy and way easier than a tier 1 in Surf. But the fastest route of a tier 1 map in, like, everybody's taking the same route in Surf, pretty much. I've taken the world record route on a couple of Surf maps. Now, am I pixel perfect on it? Absolutely not. But there's a lot of DeFrag maps I can't take the world record route on because of the corner cuts being too difficult. Even though they're easy maps. This one is not easy. You have to avoid eating a lot of slopes. Generally remember which way you've got to go, because it's not obvious. Like if you just try and follow the waypoint markers, yeah. This map's fairly easy to do, to be honest, if you just very basically follow the waypoint markers. But to get world record, you have to be like landing really close and tight on certain sections, knowing where you're gonna go. You've got to make it through. The little jumps on the edges of the pink triangles, where I can see another one. There is one more, sure, unless it's been slightly rerouted, because it does get constantly here. So like the tiniest little bit to not eat that ramp, but get enough height to get across. You have to hit it just at the right diagonal, and then getting down ramps off of that, just the right overturn, really nice. Riffo says he's not a strafer, but he seems to put down some good runs on these. Like, this is pure tech strafe. That's a banger run. My water bottle's at the wrong end of my bedroom. Oh dear. Ah, sod, it's an amnesia run. Amnesia's been crushing my... Oh, 2's gone and beaten the record right back. Assuming that this is the same record, actually, because there's Tower BW and Tower regular. But yeah, it is, because it's going downhill. Yeah, Amnesia's been crashing my spreadsheets for some reason. With the emoji he's got in his name. And I don't understand why, but I've just done a full reinstall, so hopefully the quality is as good, if not better, as it used to be. The performance I'm getting in games has gone up. And various bugs that I've had are no longer happening, so crashing my checkpoint. What on earth was that? Just absolutely skimming the edge of the checkpoints. We don't have checkpoint markers in there. Well, we have checkpoint markers. If anybody comes from... This is a rerun. If anyone comes from other DeFrag games, you might know the walls where you can see where the checkpoints are. We don't have that. We just have dots in the middle of the checkpoint block. So, yeah, you can't see the line. So to do that, you have to be very careful to do those sort of cuts. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, hopefully everything goes well. This will be interesting. Is that intended? Is that what you meant to do? Gotta test if it works. Yeah, I definitely tested it thoroughly before. I tested it. Just potentially not as thoroughly as most people would. I'm not doing like a 45-minute recording and then having to watch that 45-minute recording. Nah. I just hope people watch the stream. Oh, the skimmy checkpoint thing. Oh yeah. You've just... Well, you can see, because these like markers come up, so you can see if you've hit it or not, right? You know if you have or haven't hit the checkpoint. Like, what? And you can kind of know, there are ways, very laggy ways of seeing the checkpoint hitboxes, or going into the map editor and having a look at them. So you can, if you really want to, find out exactly where the hitbox is, but you can't see it in game. Whereas in Quake 3, there's a mesh, like green mesh layer that you can enable to see where the box goes, so you can see exactly where it is. Especially if you need to like shortcut something. Mirio coming on with not as good of a run as Plaza's, but we'll watch it all the way through. Come on, Mirio. This is your world record. This is what you want to show. This is our boss, everybody. This is the guy that runs the show. Bunny hopping on a slick map. I mean, well, it's probably faster, isn't it? If you're just gonna go straight into the wall. Tell you what, sometimes. Who put this guy in charge? Sometimes it's the white line, sometimes the curb. Yeah. Have you seen the latest sim racing stewards from Jimmer? And the fucker just goes way off track at Eau Rouge. Oh god. There's... I mean, I won't... Basically, there's a guy... GT3 cars, I think. And he just fucking goes around Eau Rouge. And it's a chicane. And he just ignores the fact it's a chicane, goes right into the runoff. Just runs it way up the outside. And then... that's not even the crash. That's not where the crash happens. but it's just that, like, immediately this guy's at fault gaining a lasting advantage by just ignoring track limits. And then it is proper. It's proper F1 track limits, and Jimmy doesn't even bring it up. Like, but it is that thing when I was watching F1 with you a couple of seasons ago, and I was just getting so pissed off with how blatantly they just ignore track limits all the time. Versus BTCC, where they actually give a shit about track limits, and MotoGP, they really care because, you know, only 2 wheels. It didn't seem, it was in ACC, it wasn't, so he didn't get a slowdown penalty. But if it's like slowdown as in speed, then yes, but it's still faster than having to actually brake for the corner, you know, because he was just able to absolutely bomb it, of course. Now Mirio seems to have got in the rhythm of things, going a little bit better through here. Yeah, it was just an absolute disaster. Yeah, that's why. Like, I get it, but just because you've been told that they're not enforcing track limits, like that's on the FIA for not enforcing track limits. Like, if you've designed a course and you've mandated it and homologated it and whatever for F1 competition, why are we saying that we're not? And then there was the whole Hamilton thing where they were told they weren't monitoring track limits, and so he was going wide, and then they said, please stop going wide, and he was like, they said they didn't care about this corner. It's like, oh yeah, but you're taking the piss. It's like, so now everybody else is going to do it for a while. It's like, yeah, just, there's a white line, there's 4 tyres, if there's a millimetre of, like, I'll even accept the bollocks thing of F1 cars, that they are wide and their tyres are big and wide and sticky, and a millimetre on the white line, you're fine. Alright. But the curb is not the circuit. But yeah, I think they have stopped doing silly things so much now. Because it is a weird one. We're not going to mandate it in the only racing series where they're kind of properly mandated. Because you have to watch super touring cars for track limits, because those guys can hit the sausage curbs and not give a shit. They can straighten out. What is it? Is it Bathurst? The chicane at Bathurst with the fat sausage curbs on the inside where they catch air? In Super Touring, Australian Super Touring. And they're just absolutely up in the air, like flying over just straighten out this corner with sausage curbs. Like, absolutely hilarious. Aussie Supercars, that's it, not Super Touring. I get too mixed up. Like, forget that Aussie Supercars isn't Super Touring technically. Yeah, Aussie Supercars. I'm pretty sure it's Aussie. I mean, all the touring cars cut corners, but there's specifically one where it is proper sleeping policeman sausage curbs, and they just bang straight over it. Straight lining it. And it's one of those corners where you go for it, it's fast over it. And then if you get the lead, you kind of have to just take the sausage curbs, because there's no, if you slammed on the brakes to be able to take it, like fast long corner, if you slam on the brakes before the sausage curbs after that corner, after making a move, you're just going to get rear-ended by whoever was behind you. No shortcut here from Mirio. Would require you to go full speed through the previous section. He got a little bit of a sticky on the slick. A little bit sticky. That's an awkward one. know if it would be possible to get the down ramp there where Mirio's just head hitted and then gone in. I mean, he'd be crouching actually. Lowering your head, lowering your head, you might be able to do it. Yeah, they're built for it. That's why you've got to watch track limits in those sections, because specifically they are able to do that sort of bullshit. Whereas, yeah, F1, they're taking track limits at all the places they possibly can, but fat sausage curbs, they're not going to go through them because they will wreck and scrape the bottom. Pinnacle of motorsport besides rally. Rally's the craziest one for track limits, because you only find out that someone's broken track limits after the race because they can't watch him all live. So it's like a risk of, oh, if I break track limits here, there might just be a fat rock on the inside and you Colin McRae it and lose your suspension strut. This is a good map. I like this. The fast switch secondary pre-fire right into the corner and then just no stopping moving. It's really nice. Shiro's been bombing it. One of the best rocket players. Right 4 over crest, don't cut. Bang! Shit! Amino first to go sub 7 minutes on DMUG 100. Are we going to watch it all the way through? You bet we are, because this is basically just me chatting shit for a while. I have nothing to do this morning. All my stuff is in the afternoon, so I'm going to do that. The overcrest told me to cut, it's true. I want to get back into rally sim type stuff, maybe. The problem is I can't run any of the current rally games that are good, and I don't have any of the older ones. Ooh, maybe I could get, because my computer is no longer cursed, maybe I can curse my computer by trying to get RBR working again. And see if it will work these days. Now I've done a fresh reinstall. Because I used to be able to get it to install, but it just absolutely would not, no matter what I did, would not recognise my controller. I even did a controller to wheel thingy. Is he going for the cut? Yeah, there's shorter cut than Plaza. Plaza goes straight over into this corner. But yeah, still goes for the cut. Good cut anyway. Just a little on the safer side. Yeah, I did that. Trackmania saw it as a wheel. Dirt Rally 2 saw it as a wheel and worked. But it just literally, no matter what, RBR wouldn't recognise any USB inputs except for the keyboard. For some reason. No matter how I set it up, what I did, all this sort of stuff. But yeah. To be fair though, I probably want a bit more of a SimKD experience, because I'm going to be playing on controller and I don't expect to set up a wheel ever. Something like... Oh, maybe I can get... It's been a long while since I've tried AC. There's been a long while since I've tried it. Last time I tried it was like Proton 6 or something, so maybe AC works these days. Let's see, because it used to work for a few people, but not everybody. Let's go Proton DB while we're watching Amino. Amino's a pretty good slick player. Like, Amino on slick parts of a torture map is fantastic. On this sort of full slick map, a lot of it's about remembering the map. It's like, how many runs did Amino do? Because you could see how many runs Plaza's done on all versions of this map. So Plaza knows where to stop jumping. Like, we saw the corner of Mirio. Mirio comes round the corner, smashes into a small ledge, whereas Plaza comes around the corner, knows the ledge is going to be there, and jumps before it. Very simple. Okay, there's 3 reports of it doesn't work, but that doesn't count because it's the same geezer. Then there's 2 reports that it works, but they don't recommend it because it's really difficult to set up. You need... Okay. So ACC works, but AC doesn't. But I want AC rather than ACC. For 1, because I've already bought it. But for 2, because I want the mods and the rally stuff. What's ACC Rally, or AC Rally, require then? From my computer. That is technically only slightly more than my computer for the minimum requirements. It requires a Ryzen 5 1300X. I have a 1500X, so not exactly. A Radeon 6650 8GB. I have an 8GB card. It's not a... It's a 5800. I ain't going to be able to run that. Step down from Proton as well. Even though it's gold, it ain't working. Yeah, I'm probably not going to try AC then. Fortunately, I bought it for like £2.50 or something, so I'm not really too fussed. I should try and get Trackmania 2020 working again though, maybe. Or maybe I just don't play it again because it was alright, but it wasn't amazing. Ooh, unlucky. Unlucky there. I thought I was going to have to do it again. Hey Des. I wasn't ignoring you, honest. I read your message. Everything... How fast are you got to go then? Because I thought Amino would make that. Interesting. Hopefully everything looks good. Because I can't remember I forgot to screenshot my settings for OBS. Because the... well, because I expected to just bring my settings across, but every single thing in the world broke. Like, I'm even using Flatpak, for God's sake, so it should just have worked, but nope. Everything broke, copying the settings across. Yeah, I kept a backup, but I can't open the backup because OBS crashes with my old settings. It just says, can't use your MVenc, can't reach the MVenc GPU, and a lib NVIDIA error. I can't install the libNVIDIA stuff. Well, okay, I can install the libNVIDIA stuff, but I think that it may have a problem if I did install it because I don't have an NVIDIA GPU. So yeah, fortunately I was able to get the scenes out of it, which is the important part, of course. I was able to get the scenes because it was between, I could have had the settings, but I also could have had the scenes, and the scenes are more important. Good run from Amino there though. It's only like Plaza's run that we saw at the start of the video, which is this run. It's got duplicated. Yeah, 529. This run's mad. We might as well just watch the start because there's a very good trick just to like show you how much Plaza's played this map. Not just on this, but boom, boom. To do that at full speed, crazy. So yeah, Plaza has yeah. I'm pretty sure everything should be fine because all of the audio stuff is default and it comes, and like the audio volumes and stuff come from the scenes rather than the setup, but the video quality and recording stuff, no. The video quality and recording stuff comes from the profile, which I had to delete. But I went into I just searched through my history, my browser history, for because I brought that across. I searched through my browser history for the setup guide that I used, and I found the one that I'm pretty sure I used last time for setting everything up. So, you know, I just copied that and had a look at the settings and did a quick recording test and went, that looks alright. And the file size does look a bit big. Oh, I was meant to fix this. I was meant to fix the missing textures on this map. I might get around to that at some point. Super nice run by Floopy. It's like impossible to say. This bit just sucks. Slick on the floor, bugging around, can't remember which way you're going. Just hoping for the best was what I think I was doing through there most runs. Floopy somehow knew what to go on. Bardock 2026, a great map from a legendary mapper. Yeah, it is an absolute hell map. Floopy makes the start look easy as well. The start is possibly worse than the rest of it. Ooh, very tasty. Very nice, very tasty. Oh yeah, happy Trans Day of Visibility, everybody. I'm apparently can be seen today, which means no sneaking off at the start of the bike race. It's not a race. It's going to become a race because we all know the course. It's the problem with the first lap of the year is that we all know the course. It explains the no cam. It does indeed. Yeah, I'm thinking this wasn't intended by Mr. Halvorb. This guy's cheating. Can't believe it. Boom, nice down ramp. Clean over here. Should get 1, 2. Oh, only 2, not 3. Should get a good down ramp here as well. And then I think this will have good spacing to... Oh, no. I think if Amnesia had dropped through the side there like we saw Kabla do, might have hit that down ramp. It would have been tight, but I think it's doable. Oh, cool M2. This map's good. So you get 2 down ramps here. Then it's clean through to here. I played this heavily in Momentum mod a little while ago. Different route over there than we take here because it's much more difficult to do that trick. And then the up and over, I couldn't get it. I can never get the... Yeah, mid-route. Mid-route's faster. Here, not in Q3. Oh, this map's good. I've got a good time on this. Ooh, early, not off the wall. Very nice. I can't put together a proper time on this map. I just cannot seem to get everything together. I love how this map looks. I did like the fix Cool did on this map. The reason it's an _XDF is because the jump at the start was quite hard to do. It required a little bit of a pre-run. Noobs weren't getting it, but, you know, it just kind of sucked because even good players were struggling with it from time to time. So Cool just put a circle jump straight in it. You just get launched. So that's one way to fix it. This map's had some good runs on it in the past. Oh, nice, just avoiding that corner. You'll notice this section from Bug 100 or Demug 100 slick that we've just seen. Because of course the Bug 100 map is just loads of sections put together. Yeah, good fix because you're not deleting times because yeah. It was about as fast before. Nice step up. That's one of the important things on this section of the map. Getting around these corners can be tricky. There are ways to do it with like perfect... It feels like it's like a triple jump, you know, in athletics. Track and field. Oh, nicely through that hole. And then straight up to the finish. Very nice. Yeah, it's like an athletics triple jump. You go dum dum dum. Super cool. Amino is going to do something straight... I mean, like going straight up, it makes the most sense, but that's way faster. And then a little flick and, ooh, very nicely done. Amino, with the rerouting strats, he's good at it. He's good at it. Then Riffo's here to steal the route, of course. Straight back at it. I think from how many times this has gone over, we might be at the point in the runs. So what are we on? Some 12 health. Pull it up the map. No, we're on the 7th. Okay, Riffo just broke it and then broke it an hour later. That's all. That's fine. I was thinking we might be at the point where the tournament had started, but we're not yet. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, the difference between how Floopy Shiro kind of play and how 2 plays with rockets, just like 2 always looking in the same direction. Just looking back, shooting the rockets, very smooth, very clean. And then there's Floopy and Shiro, just like flick, 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 flick. It seems like they're panicking, but actually it takes more... It takes just as much knowledge to be flicking back and forth and knowing that you can flick and look the wrong way and when to do it. It takes just as much confidence as... as just looking in one direction. Oh, it's intentional. But like, look where 2 looks behind in that run. Just staring backwards and that's it. Floopy's runs on rocket maps tend to be more looking forward and flicking back. Fuck this map. The sections on here, like this blue bit in the middle, slightly lower than everything else, so you can get a double jump in weird places, and my personal best requires a stupid double jump off of 1 pixel. Like, it's got to be a 1 unit double jump or something, possibly even less, and it's just stupid. Super clean. Another Line Rider style map. This kind of section was meant to be in a DeFrag World Cup map in 2021, but it got rejected for being too hard. Which I think they, like, because it was Koz and Kairos making it, I think they could have made it doable. I think they could have made it, well, they could have made a secondary route that wasn't as fast, for sure. That's an interesting overwall kind of thing. All quite difficult to set up. This is the easy skate. Yes. The difference between easy and hard, I'm pretty sure, is just being able to fail, right? On Kairos maps. So we just upload the easy only. It's like Ninja Warrior. Ooh, using the slick here. Oh, the non-easy is actually different on this map. I know there's a few Kairos maps where there's a dash easy version and it just means you can fail and restart at each checkpoint. Whereas the hard version is death. And there's one map, I don't think it's a Kairos map, where the easy version has a death trigger left in by mistake. Pretty sure by mistake. So yeah, if you hit the kill plane one, you just get completely fucked. Oh, that was nice under there. Yeah, this bit again. Just up and over the wall. Doesn't look as cooked on this run, actually. Oh, interesting. So there was a marker on the wall for a quad damage. Quad is by default disabled for some reason. I think we need to change that. Thinking about it. It's going to ruin some records, but sod it. It's going to make maps better. Because for some reason it's disabled by default, which means we need to enable it on maps that have it. These are some super tight corner radiuses. This is slightly easier than from 90. Ooh. I feel alright after the clock change. But at the same time, I don't know. Yes, I think the floor is lava on that one. Oh, this map. Oh, this map. I'm surprised Goblin didn't take this when we were on here. With the worst end in the world, you can't touch those lights in the middle, they're not slick. So you have to just wiggle, 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 wiggle very tight. Yeah, we have DST change, unfortunately. The problem is, as I found out the other day, a load of people have been gaslit into thinking that this is the bad time zone because you lose an hour of sleep when it changes to summertime. But you actually want summertime, because if you check the end of the year, you are able to play out after work, after school, go for a bike ride, go for a walk in the light, and then all of a sudden they take your hour away from you and you're in the dark after work. And in the summer, you're just getting home, it's light enough, it's almost light enough to do everything. And on Monday, yesterday, if we didn't change, it would have been light enough for us to go for a bike ride tonight. Right, group ride, first one after the clocks change. It would have actually been light enough. We would have had enough time to do a ride. Just about, I think. I think officially possibly not, because we're supposed to have an hour and a bit of daylight after we start, but I think we would have been alright. But massively, like, it's so much better to have the light in the evening when you're actually going to use it, rather than the light in the morning where You just ain't. Oh, the day is up at... The sun is up at 5:30 in the morning? Yeah, sure. Cool. Cracking. Yeah. It is. It is. There are places that can benefit from it, but most of those places are really, like... They'd benefit from just having a different time zone altogether. And there's an argument... The argument in the UK is that farmers need it. And the counter argument to farmers need it is that not everybody's a farmer anymore. We don't have like 90% of the population farming and needing the light in the morning. So the farmers should just have it in their contracts that they wake up. Considering that they have it in their contracts that sometimes they work from dawn till dusk, whatever the time of dawn is, they should just have it that they wake up and out, you know, they work 8 till 4 this many, you know, between these times, and they work 9 till 5 these times. Yeah, that's it, the cows. In fact, the cows are probably annoyed, because I know our dog was always annoyed when daylight savings time happened, because he was hungry. He knew that, you know, he knew the time based off of vibes and based off of how dark it was outside and stuff like that. He got used to that. So 5 o'clock came and he was like, but it's 5, but please? But it's 5 o'clock for me. The cows are probably confused because they're like, you're early. You're doing it. Ooh, nicely done. Oh, this is quick grass, long 19. Oh yeah. Good map. Need to put some more grind onto this map, I think. Not going up and over the top. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, the farmer excuse was... So the last time the farmer excuse was used was like in the 70s. Was the last time it had proper use. But yeah, the farmers always complain about losing daylight savings. And it's like, well, just do... Oh, but we want everybody else on our time. Okay. I don't want to be on your time. I want light outside. Oh, but you need... Don't you want light going to work in the morning? No, I'd rather have light coming home. I don't really care if I get to work and it's still dark outside, because you know, most people are in a building. I want light when I can use it. I can go for a ride after work and go chill at the park. But it's fine. We're on daylight savings. It's a good time. Ooh, unlucky. Wait, have I played this one? Because I thought the one I've played starts where Zilligan is right now. Interesting, interesting. So, no new maps. Not a single new map at all this month. These maps all feel new because we're at the start of February still, somehow. But yeah, not a single new map uploaded during February, apparently. Other than... No, this isn't XSC month, this is February records. It's not end of March yet, and I haven't done February. So I'm... Technically, the video's coming out late. Because I only uploaded the XSC one last night. So the video's not going to come out today. Even if I get everything recorded today. But technically not late, on time with this recording. Honest. Feels so weird. We watched so many slick maps that feels so weird. Bunny hopping, I was about to comment like, why is he hopping all the way through? What happened? It's like, oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've played this one for some reason. I've played the other quick grass long map. For some reason I don't think I've played that one. Ooh, that's flowy. I don't know if it's the fastest way to do that, but hey. Yeah, it is a pretty brutal map. So you've got to get the spacing, you can just lose everything. And then you pop out there and you've got to remember where you're going. Because it feels like such a linear map except for that one section where it's like, yep, do you have the exact spacing to get through this section? Or are you just going to fall off? Another quick grass long 19 map. What have we got? Quick grass. Okay, so this is 21 seconds faster than Zilligan's time of previous. And then in a couple of hours, just 2 hours after this record was set, we're going to have another run on this map that absolutely destroys it. Then about 24 hours later, another run that beats it, just by 10 seconds that time. Yeah, end section looks different. What's the other quick grass long map? Let's have a look. Oh, Cool Long Grass, that's it. Cool Long Grass is the one I've played, which is 2.5 minutes long, or like 3 minutes. Ish. Wait, Des has got a faster time on me than that map. Bollocks. I didn't actually properly grind that map. I had intentions to, but I never did. And it seems like I haven't played this one. You've got it on long grass, I haven't played this map. Yeah, I mean, you're just better than me. That's all. I try really hard. At the end of the day, as soon as you try, immediately beaten. Ooh, unlucky on the end there. Just slightly too far off it. That is true, imagine trying. Speaking of trying, I need to try this week practicing the what's it maps, because I like last week I didn't play XSC in the mornings like I normally would. Like did an hour's stream every day last week in the morning, at least an hour, and I didn't play XSC any of them. Whereas I played Trackmania despite not actually competing in the round this weekend, just gone. But I am going to be playing this Sunday. So I really need to practice. But the practice did pay off. I got a top 10 on the regular Smurf Cup, which is the first time I've ever managed to do that. So that was cool. So hopefully I can put something together. Not sure what time we're playing though, because there's been some talk about playing an hour earlier, an hour later. So I've got no idea what time we're playing, but I will be there if they tell me. Am I blue now? What? Blue double do double die? No, because Europe does DST same time as us. So everything gets pushed forwards an hour. Which also means crab cups will be. Because, yeah, they're going to be the same time for me. There's parts of the EU that aren't. But most of, like, France, the big nations, certainly Western Europe still does it. All of Western Europe. I think maybe Spain, I feel like, has a couple of parts that technically do daylight savings, but I think they ignore it in the same way that I suggested, by like just saying that you don't, and just waking up and continuing to not exist. Just not acknowledge it. So, right, got to change the clocks, but I'm not changing my time. I'm not changing the time I wake up for realsies. I feel that's a definitely Spanish thing to do. The Volta Catalunya decided to ignore daylight savings because it had been running from the previous Sunday. It had one day, the last day after the daylight savings, to run. So they just said, we're going to kind of ignore that daylight savings has happened, so that the riders are still in that routine of, we finish a race at this time, we start the next race this long later. We're just not going to change the times. Like, we're going to start an hour later than we would have otherwise, according to clock time. Which made a lot of sense. Made a lot of sense. For one day of a race, you might as well. Did confuse some people going, why hasn't the race started yet? It always started at 2 o'clock. Yep, starting at 3 o'clock, because 3 o'clock's the new 2 o'clock. Here we go though, here's that long 19 run that I was talking about that absolutely demolishes Amino's run. Set only 2 hours later, or ish. Yeah, no matter what you do, it'll confuse people, but I think it makes more sense to not confuse the riders' biological clocks, is really it. You can just write, because there's days where you do start earlier, because you go, oh, this is a really long stage, so we're going to start earlier. And that's fine. But yeah, when you've started the same time for rider briefing and stuff like that every day, to finish at the same time, there's no point trying to bring it an hour earlier and confuse riders. Just let... But they did write it in the road book, I would imagine, that daylight savings time has been observed, and very much writing in, this is the time in daylight savings time. Make sure you adjust your manual watches, because otherwise it'd get very confusing, because everybody would be going off, you know, oh, I'm just going to go and do a warm-up ride for a bit, and they've got a GPS bike computer, and it'll automatically update the time. It'd be funny if someone's doesn't. Oh, has mine updated the time? I can't remember if my new one knows what time zones are, because it's Chinese, and China doesn't observe daylight savings, they just have national time. Which is like, this is the other thing. China observes national time, and some people just start at 5, you know, they just start at 5 o'clock in the morning, because that's what 9 o'clock would be if they didn't have that one unified time across all of China. And it's like, it kind of makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Like, we're going to have a meeting at 3. Are you available at 3? Yes, I'm available at 3. It will be roughly my lunchtime, 3. And for you, it is the last thing you'll do before the end of the day. It might be me coming from a position of being the plus or minus 0, but at the same time I wouldn't want to be the plus or minus 0, I want to be +1. Because I know that we wouldn't have the everybody starts at 8, ends at 4. We'd have everybody starts at 9, ends at 5, and then things would start at 6, and then evenings wouldn't exist still. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's the thing with the Chinese time zone though, is that they accept that people won't work the same times. If you're on the West, you're not going to be starting at the same time as East. But it makes things easier for communication. It does mean that you have a ridiculous time zone change when you leave China on what I can't remember which side it is. It must be on the West, because it's Beijing time, surely. I can't remember. There's a massive jump when you leave. There's one country that doesn't feel like it's wide, but it is, and it has multiple time zones in it. It's Chile. It's Chile, like, it doesn't look on a map to be so diagonal, but it really does swing across. It's a long, thin country, and it looks like it's pretty vertical when you look at it on a map. Let me bring up the time zone map. Time zone map. Pretty sure it's South American, because there's a lot of long, thin countries in South America. Oh, piss. Your different countries. No, Chile is very long and thin. Yeah, always merge into the worst one. Someone out there's happy. Because someone's in... So, this Argentina? I've lost Argentina. I thought I knew where Argentina was. Found it. No, it's because the dot's in a weird place on this specific web map. The dot is in... the dot's very close to being Chile for some reason. That's weird that you would have had 3 time zones, actually. Because looking at the map, you've picked the worst one because you've picked the one with Brazil, whereas directly above you in a line is... Oh no, that's... Why is there more... Okay, Brazil's got two time zones. You've picked the one with Brasilia, which is incorrect, quite frankly. Yeah, Brazil's got 2 time zones. I'm hovering over. They've got a Manaus time. That's Brazil. And then they've got a time in Brasilia. And Rio de Janeiro as well. Yeah. Well, no, even Buenos Aires is on the side of the one earlier. But hey, at least you don't have a half-hour time zone like Australia. Poor Adelaide. And technically Alice Springs, but no one fucking lives in that state. No one, nobody. It's like 4 guys live in the entirety of that section of Australia. And no one cares. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Hold on a minute. I forgot about this. I've got a thing. Where's Kota? Where's Kota's DMs? We scroll back through all the wonderful things. Okay. Copy image into here. This was meant to go at the start. Can I please have my... Fuck. Okay, that works because it's a screen share. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Right. Here. And then Kota minimap. Why do you think everything is HTML? Okay. While Kota goes through this map, this is a map that Kota drew of the map. This is the route that Kota took because it is a proper maze, this one. It's not like run, don't stop. Run, don't stop is not an actual maze. You can't go in the wrong direction. So Kota, I believe, used a maze solving algorithm to do this and then drew the map. So Kota's looking at this map and possibly using the minimap. Read. Okay. February reading records show this image. Yep, that's where. Yes, used it as a minimap while running. All done by hand except for the maze, which is exported in a map format. So yeah. All done by hand though, actually sorted it out. The bit you probably can't see on this that I can see, there's a start and finish marker, and there's also a bunch of blue dots which show certain corners and stuff. I'm not sure quite what they depict. There's a load of blue dots, which I think are probably when Kota was drawing it. But yeah, this is what Kota's seeing while playing. Let's just hit a filter. Like 50% opacity it. There you go. But Kota has got a physical position on this map. If anybody wants this to try and break Kota's record, feel free to DM Kota. If Kota won't send you the link because he doesn't want you to break his record, ping me a message. I'll happily send you the original file. But DM Kota first because he's probably got it in PK3 format that you can put straight in. It is so much work, but surely it's got to be surely it's got to be easier than actually running this map and like figuring it out. Because it's cool that Kota, if Kota did the, like, if I was to take this map on, I would probably pick the map out same way Kota did by using the screenshot thing, and then I would take the map and run it through a maze solving algorithm because there's plenty of them, and I would get that result. What's the short? I would just get, because you can get maze solving algorithms that show you the shortest route as well. In fact, most of them do go for the shortest route because otherwise going out and back on yourself is you can get to the end by doing that, but obviously it's the wrong way and then just going back on yourself. So maze solving algorithms tend to favor the shortest route, which is good for us. But yeah, quite a mad idea to take on this run. Yeah, imagine if there was just a rocket somewhere in the ceiling. It's fair play to Kota for doing this as well. Oh yeah, corners could be tighter. You could actually... You see, there is one way you could cheat. I'm not suggesting that anybody cheats here. You can edit maps in Xonotic and run them. You can't remove walls because that's server-sided, but you can change textures. You could very much make the floor that is the correct way blue. You could overlay that map that's there, you could make that absolutely massive, and assuming that that's pulled straight out of the game, you could make the floor texture that. No, but you can edit brushes. So even if it is a single texture, you can edit brushes. And you could overlay, you could put one big brush down that's that. Everybody's got the map, you just decompile it. From what Kota's said in DMs about how to get this map, that's what Kota did. Opened the map with the decompiler and then pressed the export minimap function. That seems to be the plan of this map, what Kota's done. But yeah, please don't cheat like that. The minimap version is way cooler than cheating like that. I've got no idea where Kota is on the minimap at all. I'm kind of scanning it, trying to work out if there's any way to know, like a specific bit. But the only bits you can kind of see are the bits where you go back on yourself, but obviously you don't know you've gone back on yourself because you're the other side of a wall. So you don't actually know that. There's one part on this where you come back to a place where you, like, if you could clip through a wall, you could save like 20 minutes probably, because there's a place right after the start, you go right past the finish. It's a decent run, for sure. Very few mistakes on corners. You found one of start finish? Yeah. I'm not sure either. Yeah, there's one kind of in the middle. I believe the start is the one that's kind of surrounded by everything. And the finish is the one up in the top corner near the timer. Top right's the one you found. I think that's the finish. Based off of absolutely nothing other than that the start starts with a longer straight line. And that one would be straight into a brick wall out of the start. Whereas the other way. Fair play for being able to see what's going on though, because I'm barely able to figure out what's going on looking at a non-faded version. I've like got the faded version on screen obviously, but the non-faded version is, yeah. Okay, just getting bored and zooming in. It's fair. I'd be bored by now as well. And my brain would probably be hurting. Yeah. Not a lot of mistakes made on the corners going the wrong way and stuff. Because it's obvious to see when you have gone wrong. You can see that the couple of times Kota has gone the wrong way. You can see that he's gone like 2 bounces. Been able to see the minimap has mispositioned. He might have a zoomed in minimap as well. I'm not sure how the minimap quite works. There is a chance that his minimap is zoomed in somewhat. Only 7 minutes left now of this run. We are a third of the way through very nicely. I've now got to keep an ear out for the doorbell going. Oh, nearly went the wrong way. Nearly. As there's a parcel arriving apparently between now and roughly when this stream will end. After this run, there should be 1 hour and 10 minutes of videos left. This run puts just adding this run to the pile puts the average video length up from 1 minute and 9 seconds to 1 minute and 25 seconds with 60 videos left. Quite a lot. We have mostly short runs, but then every once in a while there's just a lot of long runs. She'll take a drink. Difficult to figure out things to talk about. I've already gone through all of the crap. How about we get back to my breaking of my own computer? It seems to be a lot more stable. It turns on faster. The screen timeout works. Before it'd go to sleep, and then when you turn it back on, it wouldn't quite come back on in the right way. So that's good. That works out well. I've figured out how to make the main screen, change the main screen over, which apparently it's a strange thing on Wayland. It's not in any settings of the main Wayland programs. It's technically a compositor issue, but at the same time it's a really easy command to run. It doesn't require sudo, so I'm surprised that KDE hasn't put it in. At least KDE and GNOME haven't put it in and gone, you can't use this if you're not using our compositor. But if you're using the Kwing compositor, you should be able to do it. Because it's just kscreen doctor output and then the UUID of the screen. Dot primary. Really quite easy. So now my middle screen is my main screen, which is great, because that means games actually launch on it rather than having to drag them across, which was a slight issue because Trackmania wouldn't allow button inputs if it wasn't on the screen it thought it was, which meant that I had to drag it across the windowed screen, then full screen it on the second screen, and then maximise it, which is a right pain in the arse. Xonotic could run on the right screen though. That was always good. As for recording stuff, I don't want to talk about how I had to set OBS up. Finally got it working, load of crap. Heroic is a really strange launcher. Here's something fun, Des. Heroic, so to get a game capture working, I've had to use, because screen capture on Wayland is terrible. Every time you turn OBS on, it will lose permissions from every screen, even though you tick the allow forever button. But that means that if you've got one input screen for every single window that you capture, you have to close all of those or give them something to look at. If the game crashes, you have to reconnect it. If you close OBS and reopen it and the game is still open, it'll work. But that's the only time, and that's a rarity, of course. Now there is a way to get around that. You use a thing called OBS Game Capture and OBS Vulkan Capture. OBS Game Capture is great. It works, but you have to put the wrapper code around it. Now, I go into Heroic, I add OBS Game Capture as a wrapper. It puts it as an LD preload, which is wrong, but fortunately it puts a space in front of it, so it's not an actual LD preload. It runs the command, but it says that there's a chmod issue. What the fuck? I've got no idea. If I copy paste that command straight into my terminal, all of it, everything, all of the bollocks that it has before it to determine what game it is in your library and stuff like that, so that it can do the library stuff. I copy paste the command it's ostensibly running. It works perfectly. Launches Xonotic, launches it with the game capture enabled, everything. No idea what's going wrong. So I've had to wrap more scripts around it. If in doubt, wrap another script around it. So Xonotic is a script that wraps around the Dark Places engine. Around the Xonotic script, kind of. It's not really a script, it's a proper binary, but yeah, it's effectively a script wrapping around the Dark Places engine. On top of that is the launch script, which determines whether you want the 32 or 64-bit version of Xonotic, plus a couple of other things and points everything in the right direction and stuff like that. On top of that is now my script that adds the launch arguments that I require for OBS Game Capture to work. But it is working. I will just have to slowly add either scripts or preloads. If it's a Vulkan game, I can use an mvar, and Heroic does work with the mvar. Otherwise, I'll have to make a script for it. If it's Steam, I can do it because I can just use Steam's command arguments and just add it to the long list of command arguments. So yeah, let's take that off and let's watch Floopy do FR Cup 40. Very nice. This is a cup for the French. Ooh, unlucky on the end there. Plus half a second, that's from not getting straight down in the hole. Gaining it back though. Very quickly gaining it back, gaining a lot of speed through that corner. Very nicely done through there. Bang on perfect stack, looks of things. Completely ignore the pads because they're annoying. Super. Superb into the finish. It's weird coming back to this style of commentary after the amount of in-depth stuff I've done with XSC. been way more in depth than when I was doing XDWC, because you have to analyze every single part to be able to understand what's going on and to make it explainable to most people, because otherwise it's just it's all the same route, it's all the same style. You look into it properly and it's way more interesting. Which means I now have to like super hard. The problem is you want to super hardcore look into the rocket stuff, but there's so much surface level stuff with like rockets and trick maps and stuff like that, that it's just easy. With these it's a little bit harder because I can't always remember what the previous run looked like. Whether it was the same or whether it's a complete difference. Very cleanly done. So the deep dive series, yeah, I kind of do want to do it comparing two massive runs next to each other. It's just time. It is a lot of, yeah. And the fear that literally nobody will care. And that I'll have done it for a video rather than because I, like, as I've said a million times, the reason I do these is because I want to. The reason I do the XDWC and XSC stuff is because I want to. I would do it anyway, even if nobody watched. I would be doing this. This is just me giving myself an excuse to watch all of these records, because otherwise I just wouldn't. I wouldn't make the time for myself to watch these records unless there's a video coming out of it. An unfortunate part of how my brain works. There is an argument that I only went to the bike race on a couple of Sundays ago because I knew I'd get a blog post out of it, which I know nobody will read. But, and then after I got back, I was like, do I really want to do the blog post? Yeah, that's true. If I was to do a map that I actually want to world record on and just deep dive into that, 1 or 2 runs on that map. Learn for world record, as if I have the ability to go for a world record. On a map that's actually worth looking at least. Ooh, somebody's asked the bot a question, haven't they? Oof. That was not my computer slowing down, that was an actual in the recording slowdown. In the recording of the video slowdown. This section's very difficult to get through at high speed. That's true. I found the one world record I had, well technically 2 world records, but one was on my own map. It doesn't really count. Especially because I had to pester Morrow to immediately get the video uploaded so that I had the video. Because it did not last. It would not have lasted if I hadn't gone and asked him. I'm not sure. Every once in a while there's a laggy slowdown, especially on longer maps like this. I think on shorter maps whatever's running in the background can wait, and it just goes, oh, okay, I'll wait. But then eventually it goes, no, I need it now. I need the resources. I do have a theory that video uploading might be what rinse... You know when randomly we get a bunch of packet loss? I have a theory that it's video uploading that does that. Because it would be using a lot of packets. This song just has a silent part in the middle of it, it's weird. Yeah, but even if it's throttled, it can make packet loss. Because I've throttled my upload. Oh, this record was actually set during the competition, during the Crab Cup. You can see how many people we had online. It was amazing. Come join us for the next one. If you're watching this straight away, then the next one is going to be all of the XSC maps. Otherwise, it might be 3 brand new maps. Otherwise, I don't know, it'll be random maps again. Yeah, even if I throttle my upload, it sometimes gives me packet loss when I'm playing. So I would assume that the server would be the same. This is Source slightly after, because Goblin won the event with that 28, I believe. So they then all went off to... There was the massive vote at the end of this. Oh, please, could we keep playing it? Like, no, I do need the thing to end so that I can get the stats. Nice DJ cancel. And then straight down the hole. Surprised Goblin didn't do that in the run, in the tournament, to be honest. But yeah, big improvement by doing that. Very nice. The most horrendous pre-run in the world with a plasma gun for a Hagar. Possibly worse with how you have to do the Hagar, because otherwise in the Quake 3 it's just a free jump with a PGB. Same map, same time. Play Spot the Difference. I wasn't paying enough attention to the previous run to spot the difference. Nicely done. Goblin, I believe, has a good time on this in Quake 3 as well. I need to get back on the walk-up grind as well. Not sure if I'm going to keep producing the videos. It does get a bit tiring. There you go. That's what I was saying Amnesia could have done. Drop down through there. Pretty sure Amnesia would have hit it at the speed that they were going through it. Yeah, not sure if I'll do the videos. I like doing the videos watching all of the demos. But weekly stuff is just hard. It is. It's the reason that it just gets like walk-up gets immediately dropped. And then I don't even play it. But I was going to, like, originally the plan was to do this weekly. But I realised that there was absolutely no chance. Because if you do something weekly, it has to be on the same day each week. You can't do it later in the week. It has to be either the same day or maybe the day after. So my walk-up stuff tended to be Mondays, maybe Tuesdays. But you can't do it Fridays, because it's already been through the whole week. Whereas with this, doing it monthly, it's like, as long as it's out before the end of the next month, you're alright. Here we go. Plaza on VP 100, where it all began for Plaza's improvement in the world. And Plaza's back to reclaim what was definitely an unloved record, the Rockets version of VP 100. There were a few tricks discovered, but definitely not all put into a run. So we'll see how Plaza pulls it off. What extra tricks are going to get added? Because I believe the last run was just a good run with a few mistakes, but nothing major. And not particularly any major tricks with the rocket launcher that couldn't be otherwise done. Will we see a double stack or anything? Probably not, you're going way too quick. Super smooth as well. I just heard the ping and then saw the message on Discord. Ooh, unlucky. Nothing you can do about that. Brutal. It is a brutal map. Will this ever get to the point where it's as optimized as VP 100 regular? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, there's not so many VP 100 addicts active as some of them have not relapsed. Some of them have recovered. Plaza's relapsed, of course, doing this. But there also weren't so many going. Like, I don't think two particularly went for the Rockets on this one. And I know a certain other couple of people did it for a bit, but then once the record got pushed by Plaza a little bit, and by others that were better at rockets and better at rooting it out, they just gave up. Ooh, what a turn. What an AD turn, absolutely beautiful. That's a cool trick that can only be done with the rocket launcher. Being able to not eat that ramp and consistently come out of it with good speed. Yeah, that rocket just didn't hit. Close. I was actually having a think the other day, and I just had to think now. So there are a couple of people. I was thinking about like my burning out from commentating the XSC stuff and all of that, and like after we're done, and I'm just kind of, oh, I've got to make that blog post, and I can't even think of the first week, and I'm probably going to put it off for a little bit, recovering back into normal stuff. Because as soon as we're finished with XSC and XUWC, it's like, okay, I've got these to make. Got to make sure they don't get too out of there, otherwise I'll never get back into them like that time where I just didn't do them for 6 months and had to catch up an hour a day for like 3 weeks. But yeah, Stephen Hendry was asked to do the Seniors World Championship, which is straight after the regular World Championship. And it's 19 days, the regular World Championship of snooker this is. 19 days for that. Then the Masters is a further week, maybe even 2. And he was like, no, 19 days in Sheffield is enough. It's too much to do more. And I was thinking about it, like 19 days for that. Tour de France is 21 days plus an extra day or two front and tail. You got like 25 days, call it. Our tournaments are 5 weeks. 6 if you include the warm-up round that we had. Like, the DeFrag World Cup, Quake 3, was 7 rounds. Like, it's a season. It's a full season of everything. Much longer, every single day. Yes, it's only once a week for the commentary type stuff. If you want to keep up with it as a casual observer, you're only watching once a week, which does make more sense. But as a player, it's every day. Ooh, how's he got away with that? Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, catching up is worse. Because you're just like, there's like loads of stuff to go. And if I haven't made I've got into the habit at least now, first or second day of the month, picking all the videos up. Because that's the hardest part, is figuring out what the end of the month for videos looks like. So by just doing it at the end of the month, it's way easier. And then I've got all the stats downloaded, I've got all of the information on the computer. It's all good. It is all good. Oh, that bug with Amnesia and Relax is fixed. It must have been a font, because Amnesia's Skull and Crossbones is a different Skull and Crossbones now. But the Relax one, Amnesia's one is a box. The Relax one is a slightly different Skull and Crossbones. So it must have been a font issue somehow. I don't know how, but it must have been. At least now, if it happens again, I'll know what the issue is, because I'll have recently done something with fonts. That's my theory now. Like because I disabled all emoji fonts, but there will have been fonts that have diacritics in them. So if I install a font and everything breaks, I'll know it was that thing. Or, well, I'll at least be able to narrow it down somewhat if I do something with fonts. Although I do wish my VLC would stop. I could work out why my VLC is not listening to my minimum font size type stuff. Oh, I do blame Carl. More likely it's Amnesia though. Now I've seen, because I deleted all of the skulls because they looked funny, because they weren't proper emojis, like put up in an emoji font, they were always diacritics. But now they are, now they're actually emojis, and Amnesia's is a missing icon. So I'm thinking that it was possibly Amnesia. breaking all my shit. I can't go back and test it. I do know that it was one of those three because I changed those manually one time just to see what happened, rather than putting it into a remove all emojis or remove all non-ASCII characters. But at least it is fixed, which is good. Yeah, I wish VLC had stopped having the wrong font. That would be nice. I think it's QT. But it's just really small font size, and I can't figure out in the settings how to increase the font size. And it's not taking my... The other interesting one is is OBS not taking my font, because that one is QT. But I have all of the stuff installed for QT settings to be transferred over to GTK settings, which normally do work. Let's see. Customize interface. No, you see, that's just the buttons. Yeah, I can't see a way to make it any bigger, unfortunately. And all of my fonts are set. Everything is effectively set to Comic Sans. It's Fantasque Sans Mono, which is like Comic Sans for a mono font. And that's the font I use for literally everything on my computer. It's great. It very much helps. It's one of those weird things where I didn't realise I was dyslexic until I realised how many dyslexic helping tools I use on a computer. Why do I have all these fucking accessibility settings enabled for having dyslexia? Maybe I've got fucking dyslexia, that might help. Like, I've always hated serifed fonts, and one of my teachers wasn't an IT teacher, but he was he knew about computers and stuff. But he was like a teacher's aid teacher, and he did the chess club. And I was like, oh, I fucking hate serif fonts. And he was like, yeah, you might be dyslexic, mate. Because we were actually learning chess notation. It was serifed, and I was like, I fucking can't read this shit. He's like, I might get you booked in for a dyslexia test. It never happened, but you know, I probably have mild dyslexia. But the problem is, I would have probably failed it and like not been marked as dyslexic, because if you get me to like, you put someone in a test about that, and they're gonna focus extra hard. You need to catch them off guard with dyslexia, you know? That's, at least for me, if you've got really bad dyslexia, then yeah, sure. But if you're like my level of dyslexia, it's like, I'll muddle up a word and misread a word. But only when I'm caught off guard. If I'm actually caring and focusing on it, unlikely. But it's also a dyslexia for funny things, like the time where I got really badly in trouble for saying the LRC was what we called the library. I think it was the Learning Resource Centre rather than a library, because it had other stuff than just books. And it was like, the LRC is shut today. And we walked up there with some mates and I was like, huh, thought that said the LRC is shit. And a fucking deputy head comes around the corner and goes, right, you're coming with me. Right outside of the office we were sat in, there's some fucking year younger than us shouting fucking cunt all over the place. I was like, are you going to tell them? I will get to them. Like, you just don't like me. No, I treat everybody equally. Like, yeah. With no respect. She was an arse. She did not respect you at all. I am very glad that I just couldn't be asked. I was technically supposed to go to an after-school detention after that one, but the fire bell rang and I never got told I was allowed back in the building. And they said, and my head of year was like, no, actually that's fair. the other teacher, the deputy head, was like, Crane didn't turn up. Gonna give him 3. And the head of year was like, no. Nobody ever said they were allowed back in the building. We did not let the students, because the fire alarm went off with like half an hour to the end of the day. By the time everything was checked out, it was like 10 minutes to go, and we decided to not let students back in the building. And the other time where I managed to get kicked out of a class, I was like the first one to get kicked out of the class, went and chilled in another room. This was with a substitute teacher. And I was mostly a good kid. But I managed to be the one that set it over the edge, basically. Everyone was being a dick, and I was the one who pushed the barrel too far. I was the one where he said, right, I'm kicking kids out now. So I got sent to the room over, which was with a teacher I liked and a bunch of kids from a couple of years earlier that were on the thing. So he sends me into the room, gives me a sheet of work to do, and the teacher that I was now in the class of was like, just sit down on one of the chairs. So I take a seat next to my mates, and he's like, have you got anything to do? I was like, I've got about 2 words to write, because this teacher's a substitute teacher. He doesn't know what we're doing. And the guy was like, do you remember doing this a couple of years ago? So like, yeah, vaguely. Just join in on our lesson then. So I did. It's the easiest thing to do. Just join in on the other lesson that I've already done from 2 years before. Like, yeah, chill. Where are we now in the cool quick grass? Long 19. We are now at the last record. So this one saves 5 seconds on the previous Plaza record that we saw, and is 2 days later. Alright, oh no, only 1 day later. It's 45 past midnight. So I reckon, and it's on HP, so that'll have been set the day before. A lot of long maps this month. I suppose mostly taken up by Demog 100 and Quick Grass and Long Grass being set. It's nice to see them. I need to prepare. I'm like mentally preparing already. This does look very fun. And the cool long grass map I found very fun. That's only 2 minutes. That one, I do wish I'd gone for that more. The reason for going for that one was because I was wanting to... oh dear. I wanted something I could do more readily than Beatrix 125. Because I was just unable to set aside the time to actually play Beatrix 125 at that point. But I still wanted to grind a singular longer map because I was having a lot of fun putting that sort of time down. I've now gone back, I think, because I've got the grind that I've been doing with Trackmania 2 where I do 20 minutes on 3 maps, but then I come back to the same maps the next day. And also the grinds that I was doing in Trackmania Star Trek 2. Oh, nicely done. Just about makes it round that corner. Very nice. Should be able to get across here. Keeps the speed a lot better than Amino did. All the way through here. Very nicely done. Amino's run was a while ago and is now 40 seconds by the time this run goes through. 40 seconds slower. But yeah, the power hours I've been doing in United and Star Trek. RR and TTR? What's TTR? Terribly tough. Ah, TikTok running. Just fix the fucking... Well, I suppose realistically that would be splitting relaxed running and RTG, but nobody would actually want that. Nobody would want 20 minute. Everyone would complain if it was 6-second maps only had 20-minute time limits. Everyone would complain about that. It would be nice to fix the map bug though, map list bug. I've looked into it a couple of times and just been unable to... Like, the theoretical solution is there, and that's as far as I ever would have gotten. Oh, 5-minute time limit. It is weird. I was playing on Smurf maps, not during a tournament, and I forgot Trackmania. Like, everyone from Quake 3 says, how do we deal with 20-minute maps on this? Trackmania has 6-minute timers. That's, like, considered long. It's 5 minutes 30 seconds on Smurf TM2, which is what I grew up with. That was my initial position, was doing that. So it's 5.5 minutes, and the maps can be as long as 1.5 minutes long. Cool, simple one. This is going to be a crack to jump at the end. Yeah, all the way. Then glancing it through, just brushes the wall a little bit, keeps it up here. Wall run, really hard, absolutely perfect wall run. Very light glance and a step up. Goblin's incredible ADing skills means that he can actually take all that speed around the corner. Beautiful. And the finish. It's a very strange podcast. Sometimes we're talking just random nonsense, and sometimes I actually recognise the map and I can commentate on it properly while I just vibe in my chair. Imagine if I need to finish my book today or tomorrow. I think I've got 2 chapters left, so it'll probably be tomorrow. But my plan after this video is done is lunch, read book. Then watch Paris Camembert, the best named bike race. Writing? No, reading. Goblin does not currently have the world record on this map in Quake 3, but he has previously held it. It is an absolutely incredible speed map. Very boring. You know, just rocket spam. At the level that it's being played there, it's no different to a strafe map, is my hot take on rocket spam maps. Absolutely no different to a strafe map in terms of how close everything's going to be. Shink's barely hitting the down ramp there, so that's going to be a tight pace lock. And again there, it's good. So yeah, the advantages you can gain are lowering, but can you get it across and get that final down ramp? Of course, the final down ramp worth a lot less if you have to miss or take less of a down ramp on the previous because you don't carry it for very long. But it's still a significant improvement on time since it's no further. You just have to very gently slide down the side of the ramp. I do need to write a blog post about XSC. K9 reminded me that I didn't write one for XDWC, and I think if I write the blog post, I can use the blog post as the script for the video. That's the plan. Because when I did the XDWC video, I had to write a script because I was messing up talking and missing things and forgetting things, and so I think I need some sort of a script, like between bullet points and a proper full written out script, and having the blog post will be good. So I'll write the blog post as if I'm going to be reading it as a script, and then I'll make the slideshow, because I'm using a slideshow this time. I can't believe Mirio made this map in a game that he has to have known about slick bugs when he made this. But I guess when the mod is done, when the update's done, there's a good chance that this map's going to get absolutely dominated. Because you'll be able to run it with super high net FPS, not glitch into anything, not worry about it. Cool revival. Do I remember the route on this map to analyze it properly? It is like this map would have fitted in perfectly well during XSC. I think this was actually meant to be a DeFrag World Cup map at one point, but never came off. And then Cool just polished it up and gave it to us because he's lovely like that. Super hard through that corner, just lose everything. Shink going all the way. Looks like he's going to drop down, but he does get the step up. Ooh, here we go. VP Torture map, played by Floopy. Okay. Just, ignore that section of the map. Don't worry about it. We don't need that. Don't need that section. This map feels a lot like KZ. I do like the little "this is the direction you need to go" bits on these stick out pieces. When I was talking earlier about slick skills, that kind of slick with the one tiny button that has some slick, that's what Amnesia is very, very good on slick at. See, I wouldn't have bothered putting these in because it's just a pain in the ass. Yeah, like cut the whole thing. You got to cut it like multiple times as well. You can't just cut a square out. You've got to cut all sides of the square. Pure climb parkour map. This bit has something weird to it, doesn't it? Like you end up on top of this section slightly later on, I think. If I remember right, the last run we saw of this had quite a few mistakes in it. I don't know what time it would have been, but I seem to remember the last run having a few fall-offs and a few mistakes. So this might be the clean run. I've shut my fucking mouth then, I guess. Is it possible to Curse of the Commentator pre-recorded stuff from a month ago? I'm not sure. But apparently I've got that skill. Floopy's going, I didn't fucking fall off there, what? How'd you manage to curse my run in the past? Nicely timed with the music. Yeah, this is the bit. Yeah, it looks really weird because you come back across the top of this section. I assume if you fall down you won't die because you'd have hit your head on the death trigger. So you don't get teleported, you just have to do that section again. The last run we saw also did that. I seem to remember falling off over the other end. Seems simple enough to do, kind of difficult to slow down at that point. Falling off at that section puts you at the start of the maze. But what about if you fell? Do you just get automatically teleported, or do you fall in, and if you were to land on one of the pink blocks you'd just have to do the maze, right? Because yeah, otherwise you're just falling off into the maze section. This part's the weird one, isn't it? Where you can do this like weird slick trick to get up on top of the post. Yeah, you can't do it with a normal amount of speed. You have to actually slick on this pixels wide thing. But it still saves a lot of time. Even doing all of that saves a lot of time. And hey, Amino was playing at the same time. Another run on Cool Revival 2. Let's see if we can spot the difference again. Or is it... Nope, there's definitely a rampy there extra. Previous one was pretty narrow landed. Well across, good landing. Oh, clean, much cleaner on that, I think. On that ramp up. Holds that turn a little bit longer. Comes clean into here. And very nicely done. If that wasn't a different run, yeah, I'll just gaslight myself into thinking that there's a different run happened and I've accidentally added the video twice. Very, very clean. How long? Really? Oh, wow. That is a lot further down than I thought it was. When that rocket went, I thought, oh, you're just going to shoot another one. That rocket's done for. But yeah, wow. Okay. Look at the speed. Christie pretty much only coming properly into this game XDWC 6 months ago, and now doing absolutely fantastically. I don't even know where they're from, what game and stuff. Just a masher. Coach long way as well. I was going for that for a bit. I've got a time I'm pretty happy with on long one. AO1 race. I've put the time into this map. I've got a decent time on it. I need to go back to my power hours on TMNF. Get through all of them. I'm coming up on AO9, which has a maximum speed. I'm just going to find out what the trick is and what the time everyone has is. And it's like an hour. It's get that or bust by an hour. I'm not putting more than an hour into like let go at the right time. You've got half a tenth of a second to let go pretty much. You just look at the clock and let go when you see the right number. Goblin's got a mashed up Cool Revival. Let's have a look. Where's my old... There we go. Cool Revival. We have the two records by Shinx, 0.03 apart from each other, set on the same day, and then the following day Goblin comes in and sets this 0.4 nearly, 0.38 faster than Shinx's previous run. If that was not this is right before the start of XSC, like a week before the start. So if that wasn't a sign of things to come, with Goblin beating Shinx by roughly 0.38 seconds, I don't know what is. Why is Amnesia still on Mirio Half-Pipe? Half-Pipe. Mirio... Oh, I'm sat on my cable again. I need to do something about these cables. They've kind of wiggled their way out and they're longer than they need to be. Mirio Half-Pipe is Amnesia, Amnesia, Amnesia. This is where we are. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. Straight's going to take it soon. Then Amnesia, Amnesia. The second one being 12 hours later and 0.01 faster. And then Straight takes it back. Very interesting how it's all gone down. But we are, very strangely, for how many videos are left, we're on the 18th. I want to have a look when this just dies off. Let's go back to all, make sure it's sorted correctly. So we've got records every single day, all the way to the 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, and that's when the tournament started. Then we don't have any on the 23rd, we do on the 24th, none of the 25th, 26th and 27th. There's only one on each day there. So that is why everything just suddenly drops off, because we've gone from 5 records on the 20th to 3 on the 21st. All by Amino, 1 by Shinx. I think the tournament started that day. Back in a second. Resuming from where we left off. I probably should have put the be right back not in the video. Paused before getting onto it. Just confuse people because the music's skipped. Have I played this in Momentum mod, or is it a different one that uses the same textures? No, I don't think I have played this one. Banger run. Goblin just warming up to absolutely dominate XSC. Nothing we could do about it. Shinx tried. Source tried. It's also always talked about in XDWC how he couldn't win because of the weapons, but it turns out in a full strafe competition, he did even worse. Oh, I hate this map. I really do. Goblin destroying it, kinda nice. Means probably nobody's gonna beat it again. Here we go with straight on the half pipe. It's always funny to see when records go back and forth and just a couple of people... Oh, that's why the... that's why it's so much faster. The big old head hitter. And a bounce to be able to get more down ramp speed. It's worth it, for sure. Plus 1.3, so what happened? If you're plus 2 seconds? Ouch. Losing a run there, it must have been a slick bug. Losing a run there though. VP Mini H, I don't recognise this map in the slightest for some reason. But of course, just Goblin Mogs it. Very nicely done. Bit of a slow setup there. Gets it done though. Amnesia back to take it by the tiniest of margins. Interesting. Still sticking with the old route. Was online with straight, as we saw before. So clearly has seen the previous route and straight's tactic of up over the top. Seems like there's a lot of bad runs, good runs that go bad at some point. Either due to just hitting the wall or possibly bugs. Who knows? .01 improvement, Amnesia versus Amnesia. Big improve. Oh, here we go. Straight. This one's a big jump as well, actually. Let's go back up to the top. There we go, half pipe. So this one is the final improvement. This one's 1.5 seconds faster than Amnesia's previous run. This is the death blow. But Amnesia set some pretty good times against himself. I was on when Gob was just destroying this. Followed his route. Managed to get myself a very nice time. He told me to get a top 10, but I was too skill issued. I think that was pretty much my final practice before the tournament started. Wait, how much have we got left? Yeah, we've only got 16 maps left. The shortest month, and we made it even shorter. Not sure how many March has got, actually. I don't think March has got that many, because obviously we've had the tournament, and I haven't seen too many people playing. So it might be a short month next month. Hopefully we'll run it back up, of course, in April. Straight beats Goblin on 4-breaker. I like this map now. By 0.01 seconds. Tiniest little improvement there. Straight apparently tied that record first though, a 5.11. The software does record ties. I think only if they're set on a different server. It will record ties. But Goblin is just going to put pay to that. And there we go. Tied straights run the run before and then 0.08 faster. Smashing it for a 5.02. Could it go below 5 seconds? If Goblin wants it, I'm sure it could. Straight might be able to do it, but I don't know. That just looks like a monster blow, especially since it was done all in one run. I saw it on the spreadsheet that was the time, but of course you can do it in multiple runs because it's only when the map ends that the results get submitted. Clean. I got a good time on that one as well. There was a point where I was just doing long straight maps like line 4 and getting good times on them. Just pure hard strafe. Flat Brown got a lot of play last month. Didn't see many world records, but it got a lot of play. Seemed like every time I logged on for a short period, absolutely smashed it. Flat Brown. I mean, I've got no tits, but there's no need to be that mean about it. The wiggle into the finish, sub 20 seconds. Very nicely done. Now another run on VP Supplicum. What did we see here? Supplicum. There is another run on this one. I'm actually going to skip this one, because there's another run that's just way faster, set a day later by Amino. That run was 10 seconds, 10.5 seconds faster than the Floopy run. This map just keeps getting some play. And Amino's going for the actual route on this one, because there's a way to cheat this map, but it's slower. So it's better to do the proper route, but still mistakes being made. Super difficult map. Not a lot of people wanting to grind this type of map. So you need 2 people really, because there's not a lot of people who are willing to both grind this map and go for it against themselves. Most people are just happy with a record until somebody does better, then they'll push themselves. It may be a solo battle against your own times, but realistically, it's also a fight against everybody else. Because you don't know what a good time is unless you compare it to other people. This is such a weird start, but it works so well. EJ cancel, I think I just saw. Very clean. Spacing on this map, really difficult because you've got to get round that post. There's a few places where it's possible to just absolutely eat a ramp if you've got the wrong spacing. And quite hard as well. because a lot of these ramps are very steep. Like, you want to get there, the double jump, rather, well, no, it's not technically a double jump, but it is 2 jumps rather than the single. Here's the run by Amino, a full 36 seconds faster than his previous. That's why I skipped the previous run, because this is going to be so much faster. Having some mistakes at the start. One of the things with Amino is that he won't reset on these harder maps unless he needs to. If you can still get world record with that sort of mistake, Amino's just going to keep going. Again, I miss, like, yeah. Quite far behind, so there's a lot of time save going on here. Super clean through this section. No slowing down on this bit. Very nicely done. "15 seconds behind." Wow. For a 30-second world record, to be 15 seconds behind at this point. We'll have to see what the final time actually is better than the previous run that he'd done. If he indeed finished a run. Like, where's the time gained versus the previous run? Effectively, where did the previous run make the mistakes? Because we've seen the mistakes made at the start here. But to get all of this together must be super difficult. Remember, Floopy fell off in here, so a clean through here will save a fair old bit of time. So you have to go a good way back when you drop into this maze, into this bit. Ooh, unlucky. Not too far from the last checkpoint though, so it's okay. Floopy was much further round. Don't fall off the edge, because otherwise you're straight back to the start of that. Full commitment over the edges of these. Oh, look at that. The big shortcuts. And then to relative safety of the blue section. Rattle up these stairs. Look tricky. They look easier than they are. If you do them fast, then they're fine. But they are the sort of thing that you could very easily get bad spacing and just fall. Like, if you look when we're looking the other direction, very much they disappear into the ether. Now, what's Amino's plan? Yeah, interestingly, Amino goes for a different set of poles than Floopy was going for that first pole. But that's got to be the biggest part of the improvement, just going straight up there, no mistakes. So I'd be interested to see if we get more records on that. 8 seconds on VP Mini H now. As we run down to the last 2 maps of the week, of the month. I fucking say week so much. THD Tunnel Racer, I don't recognise this map. Duck under those. I imagine a lot of runs have been lost to hitting your head on that section. And very well across the line. Nicely done. And our final map for the week, month, that's the one. We have SDC 50-01. And that's that. Records done, all over. Thank you very much for watching this video. We'll be back very shortly for the March records, which there won't be so many of. If you've made it all the way to the end, you owe it to yourself to at least play the game somewhat, so hop on the servers. There's a guide, xdf.gg/guide, will show you the ropes of the game. Thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Watch the other stuff that I do, all of the other records and stuff that I commentate on. This is what I love to do, and I love sharing it with you all. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next month.